So we recently got asked a question about hourly versus salary jobs for your first job out of college and which is better. So let's talk about it. So the Fair Labor Standards Act is what made the 40-hour work week the norm, as well as set minimum wage requirements and overtime requirements. Though the Fair Labor Standards Act is a federal law, each state has different requirements for what counts as exempt or non-exempt, so keep that in mind when you're looking for jobs. However, you can be exempt from the Fair Labor Standards Act, and by being exempt, you are considered a salaried employee. Dawn Hunter, would you like to tell us more about that? Thanks, DH. So let's talk about the pros and cons of a salaried position. In a salaried position, your job is based on a certain number of tasks you have to do. So one pro is that you could have 1 week where your tasks are done in 20 hours and you get paid the same amount. However, on the con side, for another week, you could have a certain number of tasks that take you way more than 40 hours. You're gonna be getting paid the same amount either way. Another con for salaried positions is that you're not entitled to overtime. Another pro of salaried work is that you tend to have access to higher wages as well as more flexibility within the position, but that comes with higher responsibility in your job. DH, would you like to tell us more about hourly positions? Thanks, Dawn Hunter. I'd love to. So let's talk about the pros and cons of an hourly position. The FSLA is in place to protect you. So with an hourly position, you are entitled to 2 15-minute breaks and a half-an-hour lunch. One of the pros of an hourly position is that if you work more than 40 hours in a week, you're entitled to 1.5 times what you make or overtime for any of those above 40 hours that you work. So with this, it really depends on the job. If you happen to have a job where there's a lot of time where you're not gonna have enough to fill 40 hours and you need to be working 40 hours to be financially stable, then probably keep that in mind as you're looking for a position. In the same way that salaried positions tend to pay you more but give you more responsibility, hourly positions tend to pay a little bit less and have less responsibility, which does mean that it can be easier to maintain work-life balance. At the end of the day, company culture can make a huge difference in how these different classifications play out in the workplace. One isn't necessarily better than the other, but knowing the two different classifications can really help with your job search. This is Dawn Hunter and DH signing off.